Ignition sequence start.
And we are live with the Primas in 5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
Welcome back to the Primas Podcast, everybody. So, how's everyone doing today? This is your Prima Cindy. I'm here with my beautiful Prima Jess. Jess, how are you today?
Hey everybody. Hey Prima. I'm doing amazing. I'm so excited. Today's our last and final episode forever. We're ending it. I'm just kidding.
We're done. It was good. It was a good 21 episode run.
Yeah, we tried it out and it just wasn't for us.
We figured really quickly.
Whoa. No, I'm super excited. We're ending it. Well, we'll get to that, but super excited for our special guests.
Yes, so this is our last episode of the season. We do plan on continuing, but obviously it's a little bit before the holidays, and so we're going to take a little break, and we're going to talk more about what we're going to do during that break, but I'd like to introduce our special guest because as some of our heavy followers, heavy day ones, our 31 or 38 deep faithful followers, or listeners or supporters, whatever you call it, know that we started with 3 primas. It was the 3 of us, and then, out of nowhere, it was just me and Jess. And so, a lot of people had questions. We're like, what happened? And so today, we want to clear up the rumors because people have been just in our face about it. And so we want to clear the rumors, and we want our special guest to tell her side of the story. And so our special guest is Melissa.
What's up? What's up?
One of the founding mothers of the Primas Podcast.
Hey guys, insert Shawn Michaels intro song.
We probably should do that.
Hey guys, what's up everyone? How's everyone doing today? Hey Primas.
Hey Mel, yay! I'm so glad you're on, so people finally know the truth. I know that me and Cindy didn't cut you out. It was all like voluntary on your part.
Nobody knows that yet.
I mean, but I'm glad we're clearing the air now, so people don't hate us forever.
They will.
Yes. So real quick, this episode, everyone, is going to be sort of a wrap up. We're going to talk about like the ups and downs of what it has been for us since we started. And then just like how did we navigate 2020 issues? Because as soon as we started, not issues started, but we kind of had to roll with the punches. As everyone noticed, one of the Primas was out of the picture. So, we're going to talk about all of that stuff. And then we're going to talk to you guys about what we plan to do next. So please stay to the end of the full audio. We know how much you guys listen because we have metrics in our YouTube Studio app. And it tells us. And I'm not going to say it out loud because it's private. It's private information.
It's not the best, but it's private.
All right, Prima. So thanks for coming onto our last episode to close up. You opened with us, and so I'm so happy that you're able to close with us because this was a really cool experience. So I want you to have the floor and let the world know what really happened with the third Prima.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thanks, Jess and Cindy, for that little intro. I appreciate that. So actually, to clear up everyone's assumptions, rumors, any mystery thoughts about why I left the show, well, I'm actually going to be sharing something very special, a secret that I've had since the time I found out, and Cindy was actually in town at that time. We were doing the photo shoot at our house, and we had Eloy present who was doing our pictures. I'm actually pregnant, everyone.
Yay!
So I'm expecting my first baby. We're going to be having a baby girl, and I'm due in March 2nd. So I've been just dealing with those first-time mommy issues as far as the whole first, second trimester, different mood swings, getting used to my life and the adjustments it has as well that comes with it. So yeah, as I bring us back to June when we started talking about the podcast, I was totally in for it. I was like, you know what? I am going to do this. It was a hobby. It was something I liked. And then I found out I was pregnant. and I was around my birthday, which is in June, late June. And as I mentioned, Jessica and Cindy were present at my house because I had like a little gathering here for like a yoga class that I had for my birthday. And they were the two first people that I told. And I was, kind of surprised and shocked, and, all those feelings and emotions. And I think as the weeks went on, as the pregnancy also, started elaborating, life just happened, everyone. I stopped working over the summer. We had some family things at home going on. Work picked up in August again, and my caseload, because I do work in the schools, picked up. And I felt, as though the main job that I had as a speech therapist, and then this felt like a second job for me, and then my pregnancy along with that, and then my first year of marriage. So that's also something that I haven't shared. Also, I got married last year, November 2019. So to keep all of that all together and try to be a third participant in the Primas podcast was super draining. It was super exhausting for me. There was moments where I would just like stare at my phone and be like, it's going to be 6. And I've looked at the text messages poor Cindy and Jessica have been sending out with Eloy, and I've only responded to, I'm on my lunch, I'll respond then. And lunch came and I never responded, so I felt at a point in August, seriously, it was like, no, you know what am I going to do? What am I going to do as far as being that third participant, that third Prima in the podcast? And how was I going to like surpass a lot of my struggles personally in my own life? So it just really came down to like, what am I doing? What I have to reevaluate my life. Maybe didn't get any better. September came. There was an episode that came on that hit Cindy and Jessica the most, and I was just like, you know what? I broke down to them. I just said, I can't do this. And Cindy and Jessica were super sweet about like, take your time. Maybe you need a break. But I think I was just at that point, at the time, I was just like, you know what? I'm ready to segue, got away from, the podcast slowly. Um, Although they had mentioned me going on a break, I wanted to be on a break, but I just felt that my heart wasn't in it. So I took some time off, and listening to the podcast and just seeing the direction Jess and Cindy have been going with it, and Eloy's remarkable editing skills, and the speakers that they've been having on with the show has been great as well. I just felt like I just couldn't have my heart in it as much as they were, and I thought it was unfair. A lot of their topics I couldn't relate to at the moment. You had mentioned, a lot of things that I just personally haven't had the time to research on. And I did, when I would hear the news, but I don't even have time to look at the news at times, and these bright ladies, they have the time with being moms, as well. And I just felt like, if I'm going into my pregnancy, it's affecting me, so I had some health concerns in the beginning of my pregnancy as well. I would vent to them and constantly text them like, how are, is this normal? Like who wouldn't do that, and I'm glad I had Jessica and Cindy who went through it to help me, saying like, no, if we did this in my first year of pregnancy, like totally we wouldn't have done a podcast. You know what I mean? And now thankfully their girls are nice and healthy. They're, the best 2 little girls that I can say that I love to and I adore. But I know they gone through what I'm going through right now. And unfortunately, I can't give it my all. And it's been a great run. Tell me about it, like, the silliness. And whenever Cindy gets into town, like, we had her back in October here. That was super cool to like have an unexpected surprise. So I just feel I'll have my primas backs regardless, and the support. I'm probably one of the 5 that follow your YouTube channel. I'm just kidding, guys. I know there's more.
No, we appreciate you.
But in this sense, I just feel like, if they ever need me to come back on as a guest person, or however we would like to do it, I'm always willing to, and work around their schedule. So I appreciate them giving me this little kind of moment to kind of end the year off with them. And I know they got good things coming up in 2021, so shout out to them and how the direction of the podcast goes. But I just feel, right now they're doing great, and with my own personal life, my pregnancy and, just how things are going, I feel in their direction, it's the best decision that I made for them, personally as business women and their growing business as they have going on. And like I say, I won't be away. I'll always be posting or, giving a thumbs up or like, but I just want them to know that they're more than welcome to always, have me on if need be. Okay. So love you guys. And I'm looking forward to, many more of your future endeavors and, just keep up the good work, ladies.
Yay. Well said, Mel.
That took
Thank you.
a while, but yeah, I got it out. I didn't even announce on my social media yet that I'm pregnant, guys. So I'm so glad.
First hand.
Yeah.
This is big news.
Yeah, this is nice. And as Cindy had mentioned, there was some followers and things like that. So they didn't fire me or, things like that, just life happens and,
Yeah, we wish it was more juicier and drama like a novela, but yeah, we parted ways on great notes. Like you said, we're always going to be cousins. We're always going to be family. I mean, I always view you and Cindy as sisters, so that's never going to change. But yeah, and me and Cindy, when you had left, we respected your privacy. And when people would ask us, or we were just like, well, I don't know, she's just not here.
Yeah, and I thought it was really nice that people asked, because I'm like, oh my God, like that means you noticed, you noticed that somebody was gone. And no, but like you said, I mean, no matter, it was just all timing. And me and Jessica already are moms, we kind of gone through the first year, second year, and they're all hard, to be honest. But those, you're not gonna sleep, I think, is the biggest. Like, I could never, I don't know how I functioned the first 2 years. Like, it was really bad sleep. 3 years. But anyway, yeah. So that was cool that you went through the whole thing, Mel. I didn't know what you were gonna go far back, but that's true. You were pregnant. We had all just found out kind of when we took the pictures, and we're like, shit, but awesome.
Yeah.
And just, the sentiment was like, whatever she decides, we're gonna have her back 100%. Like, that's, the support part. And as she said, me and Jessica are really taking it serious, like we really, I mean, Eloy too, he's investing his time. He could be doing this for other people, but yeah, it does take a lot of time. And, you have to be passionate, you have to be ready, and it's kind of hard to start something new like this when you're going to become a parent, you're working full. Oh, no. Yeah. So we totally understood that part. And yeah, we'll definitely have you back on. You're Prima.
For sure, guys.
So speaking of, thanks, Mel, for sharing the story. That's the update with regard to our third Prima. But we want to kind of continue on this note real quick. I wanted to just talk briefly about our ups and downs in the podcast. Jess, what would you say was the hardest thing for you? And keep it real. This is like a venting session. I'm just kidding, but it kind
working
of
with you. Just kidding.
That was difficult.
Yeah. The hardest part was just learning through things like, I don't use technology like that. I'm not very, or I don't play with it like that. So learning about things, even though, yes, I'm not an editor, but I started doing stuff, for like our Instagram page, and just realizing how much time and effort we're putting into it, and it just, what we've talked about, why we started this when we were in book club, like what's our passion, what's our purpose, and it just always reassured me that this is it, as hard as it was. And like, we struggled with dates and timeframes that worked for all of us, right? Because it's not just what accommodates me or Cindy or Eloy or Melissa, but it was that, like, just coming to agreements with everyone until we're on the same page. And little by little and slowly but surely, that's exactly what happened. And every episode, we're just hearing it, and it's like, wow, we're getting better. And like, we can talk about how hard it was in the beginning, talking out loud to each other. Like, it's different when you're visiting or we're drinking coffee. But it's like, once we hit that record button, it just reminded us how unprepared we were, right? Like, we're just like, well, we talk all the time, and our conversations are amazing when we're smoking or when we're drinking coffee or when we're going out to drinks. But it's like, it's different. And I didn't anticipate that either, because I still struggle with my words. When Eloy would be like, Jess, can you stop saying And I'm like, I'm saying that. And I would play it back and I said like 20 ums. So it's little things like that. Like I had to condition myself to not say those little space words, you know, or
to not gargle in the middle of a recording.
Oh yeah, when I go those, like I just was doing those things so subconsciously because I was so nervous, you know. And we would brainstorm and do our bullet points, and I remember like how we would have scripts just to even like help us gather our thoughts or like our main points. And then Eloy, like in episode 4, was like, maybe we should just drop the scripts, because then we were on each other like, Melissa, you didn't say this line, or it's not your turn, it's my turn. And it's like, well, that's not how an open dialogue should be, you know. Like we're losing this like authentic
heated of
authentic selves.
And I'm glad Cindy stopped the farting. Because it was becoming, I was starting to charge you guys overtime on edits right there.
Like, Cindy, it's not cute, actually. You've made it clear you're single and you want to stay single. Yeah, I would say for me, one of my downs was, and it's not too much of a down because I really love every single part of this, but absolutely the time commitment. Melissa said it, you know, Jessica recognized, like it really is. And I think it was a cool learning experience though, you know, because it showed anytime that I wasn't personally prepared, it just would come through it. You know, I can feel it. No one has to tell me. And Eli still would. He'd be like, hey, you did this and this. And I'm like, I know I did, you know, or so yeah, like it was all the same. I thought I could talk. I'm a public speaker. I've been doing it for work forever in the community. I'm social. I'm outgoing. I don't care to talk, right? But the first time that I was like, okay, let's just practice real quick. And I was like, let me school Jess real quick. And I think Melissa couldn't make it that night or something, but I'm like, let me just school Jess. She doesn't talk as much as I do. I did worse than her because it is a whole different ball game, and it was very humbling because I was like, what am I couldn't even improvise. And I feel like I thought at that point I was a master improviser. I gave myself that title in my bathroom on my Snapchat. Turns out I wasn't. And so yeah, we've had to learn. And when I hear back the episodes, I'm like, oh, it's so embarrassing. But at the same time, it's like, no, it's a part of the process. We're putting it out there. We're going to sound way different in our 80th episode, you know, and we'll be able to look back and be like, oh my God, look at the progress. So you have to put time in. There's no way around the time. There's just, the time is you know, the measurement of like how people don't really take off until they learn to really, right, like put out their skill. And I feel like right now we're in like beginner mode still, and we probably will be for like the first year or so. Who knows, you know?
Oh my God. I was going to say, talking about when Cindy had said that improvise. Yeah, her and I were just practicing. I don't even think Eloy was there that time. And then Melissa came on the next day and we're like, okay, let's practice now with us 3. And then Melissa threw like a monkey wrench in there. And Cindy was just like, that's not part of the script, and was just completely thrown off. Mel, do you remember what you said?
Was it something like, oh, so tell me what you guys are thinking or something like that?
It was like, how was your guys' day to day? What type of question is that, Mel?
No. She said, wait, we don't gotta go off the script, right? Like she was ready. And I was like, Melissa, amateur hour. Yes, we do. She's like, no, let's just ask. She goes, what did you guys dream about last night?
Dream of.
And I kind of wanted to answer, but I'm like, wait, that's kind of private. That's not what I wanted to present on the podcast.
And he remembered what she dreamt, and she's like, whoa, I cannot let that one out of the bag.
Yeah, it was hilarious, Mel. You just.
Wait, no, I remember
Mel
the part.
Was the best improviser, though, real quick. Like, naturally, out of the 3 of us, she was ready to just go. So,
anyway, you were so quick with it. And I had to think about
let's talk about whatever.
Yeah. Like, I'm funny naturally, but Mal was like funny or just on it, ready to go. Like, I couldn't. Like, I would get frozen and not be able to think correctly.
Yeah.
Really quick, I remember like Cindy, I think you guys were, Jess and Cindy were working on an intro, And when you guys were introducing yourself, because I remember we were having problems with the intro at the beginning, and I was like, you guys just need to record one good one and send it to me, and I'll just keep using that one. And when Cindy sent it, she was all like, Jess would be like, what up, y'all? This is Jess. And then she's like, this is Cindy B, 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 B. And I was like, Cindy, don't do that. I could do that in the post. Like, I'll fix that in the editing. But since you recorded it multiple times, I just kept hearing random times. What up, y'all? This is Cindy B, 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 B. And then it's just so inconsistent, and that's like an echo. And Cindy just like I remember looking at it, and then obviously I'm like, unless you know what I'm doing, like not that I like know what I'm doing 100%, but like you have to have somewhat of like an understanding of the editing process. And Jess would just hit me with curveballs, like Eloy, like right here. Can you like put like that Beyonce video part, like the way she was looking, and then like a helicopter flew in the background, and I was like, just sound like that. And I was like, I can't really do that. Jess, I don't know if you know how this works. And she's like, well, I see videos on YouTube all the time, and it seems like there's millions of those. Everyone's doing it. And I was just like, okay.
Oh, man. And our work ethic, because, like, we're all family. So our work ethic was, like, something we had to get used to, right? Like, working together is different than, like, when we're talking at the family barbecues.
Yes.
I'm like, damn, Prima, I don't want to talk to Eloy right now. Block him.
Block him. Or I remember one thing that really annoyed me about Eloy in the beginning was every single Wednesday for 3 or 4 months straight, every single Wednesday or every week, he was like, the meeting's at what time? Like, are we still doing, like, just super. Eloy was confused always about the meeting. Jessica was confused in the first like 10 minutes of it. I was so
the Zoom IDs wouldn't work, so we were using like different accounts. Remember at that point, so that was pretty.
In my defense, we were also in a book club at one point, so there was that time, which was like at 8:00, and then there was the Zoom meeting. I mean, the podcast was at 6. And I remember you would get upset, and I'm like, you must not know how inconsistent we are at starting these things. Because when I sent the text today, I was like, are we doing 6 today? There's always different times, and then sometimes like, actually, we're not even doing today. We're doing next like Wednesday. And I was like, okay, like it was never consistent. And I was like, why is she always getting mad that I asked this question if we have not been on the same page ever?
No, that's totally not true. There's been only 2 times where we changed the dates. And those were emergency moments where like something with the family came up. We're like, damn, I really can't record tonight. And so me and Jessica have had to find like random times because we always have to coordinating times. It's really hard because we're just really all doing something different. And in an LA time, I always have to remember LA time.
No, that's true.
I don't know if you know that.
That is kudos to you. But
so
it was
I can
fun.
Remember LA times. Yes.
I mean, I love the beginnings. I never want to post. I know you guys are like, yeah, let's post those episodes. I'm like, no, the hiking one or the book club or intro. Remember when we asked like a million questions?
I bet you they're so funny.
Remember when you said, what's your favorite emoji? And you named like 50? And I was like, oh my God, you're so annoying.
I know you guys said like 3.
No, like 1. Oh.
That was around the time Jess wasn't even preparing. She was like, let me go through my emojis real quick and see which one I like. And I remember she had nothing to say. Like those first couple of questions, Jess just had nothing to say. It's like, I don't really read, so I didn't bother even looking that question up. I guess I don't really use emojis, so I skipped that question.
Yeah, we're all very, very different.
And that's how Jess was presenting it when we were recording. She would say what I just said. Like, I didn't read that one, Cindy. I didn't like that question.
Yeah. So we're just going to skip it. But I have a new question. Like, what? I didn't practice. Yeah.
Did we bring up the hand cues? Like when we would talk over each other?
Oh my God, the hand cues.
When we didn't know how to interrupt Cindy from stop talking, she would rant on for like an hour. And it's like, we're only scheduled for an hour.
I think our fans should know that there's one episode where it's just Cindy the entire 45 minutes. And she didn't realize it. We haven't released that one.
No. And you know what? I'm glad you bring this up because we're leaving this in 2020. That's very true. And I promise you, when I hear myself, it's very embarrassing because there was one episode in particular where I asked a question. I asked them a question and then I answered it for like 5 minutes straight. And I remember, okay, anyways, but yeah, that's
like, what do you guys think about the presidential election? Because what I think about it is this. And then That was the episode.
And then Cindy would look down and be like, "Oh, you guys are still here?" And she's like, "Whoa, I thought you guys lost you."
I thought I was doing one of my Snapchat posts.
That's not true. I just because it's weird. That was in the beginning. I don't do that anymore.
Cindy would
Yeah.
look away from the camera. The camera was by
No.
herself.
I know. And then I would get mad. I'd be like, I'd stop us and I'd be like, "What the hell? You guys have been talking for the."
You would get mad that we wouldn't stop her. So you guys need to kind of stop me
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm at 100.
That's true. I was like, "You guys cut me out."
That's
Like,
when we implemented the hand raising because we're in
Like the
Zoom.
whole time Cindy's going on, in her mind, it's like, someone come in, someone come in. I can't stop.
Oh my god!
True. I was so nervous.
I
Those were
told you you're
signs
the
of being
hardest
nervous.
person to work with.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah, you would play all the
Ooh, and now
bloopers
she's
of
re-
Cindy.
Bad it is. Bloopers of me. No, but we need to put out the scripted ones. Those are hilarious. Okay. So, and so what has been the biggest up? Like, so we talked about our downs, which is like time commitment, whatever. But like, what has been maybe the best thing? And anyone can jump in here because we've all been a part of this. Because I started putting our podcast out, we had already started recording maybe like 6 or 7 episodes before that. Just those were the scripted ones and the practice ones, but we still were meeting for like 6-7 weeks. Like we had still created a brand with Melissa. Like the 3 of us were all, the 4 of us were all like a part of the creative process and the branding. So the other thing that happened, sorry, see, I was doing it again. I was about to go on a rant and I stopped myself because I've grown. This is maturity.
She flipped the page on her script and realized there was a full other one if she didn't stop now.
No, but anyway, what has been an up, Jess? Start us off.
In regards just to the podcast, right? That's what we're the up in the podcast.
Like to this experience.
Honestly,
Or I guess
spending
if you wanna
time
get
with
deep
you
about
guys. I really love that. We're spending a lot of time together doing the book club, and that's what sparked this idea. So, I mean, you guys are all really funny, and I love your guys' humor. So, seeing you guys as often as we were, like 2 times a week, was really a good highlight of this podcast, because not only was it building our work ethic together, our work chemistry, but yeah, I got to saw you guys. And yeah, at the end of it, I felt good. As stressful as our day was, and I know we do this in the evening after a busy work day, seeing you guys would make me feel a little less stressed out, So I appreciated your guys' time and energy and making me laugh. As stressful as those moments were, we thought, they weren't. They were all good. And listening to every week a new episode, I'm like, wow, like, way to go, team, And we say that to each other all the time, like, we're just improving. And yeah, was just spending time with you guys. So thanks, fam.
Very sweet. I think for the biggest up for me has been the exposure, like putting ourselves out there, because I've been trying to do something like this or a YouTube channel for a while now. So the fact that we actually did it is great, because I know that it's going to take some time for us to practice, for us to get better, for us to present our message better, for us to fix the way that we talk, right? Like all of these little things that you learn with practice. And I feel like these past 2 episodes have been the best for us, because we're making less mistakes. We're still making a lot of mistakes, but it's an improvement. It's a huge improvement. And I like to highlight that a lot of time into something, even if it's gonna be embarrassing and you're gonna make mistakes, you're going to get better, And so that's one thing that I love, that we're actually putting ourselves out there, that you guys are, so cool with putting yourselves out there, because that's hard for people. So I respect that. I respect your time commitment to this. And so going on into a business venture with my brother and my cousins has been like scary, but it's been a pleasure, because I feel like we're still here. We're still good. We haven't gotten into any crazy, serious, life-threatening arguments. Just kidding. And we do, by the way, we get into arguments all the time. So
Not when the record button's on.
Yeah, once the record button's on, we cut it out.
It'll be like we'll be in the middle of a fight. All right, stop, and then we're recording, and then it's like, hey, hi.
What's up, my Angelinos and Denver Rights and Aurorians?
Mel, I know you weren't on it until the full end, but like, what was your positive being on the podcast?
Something positive I have to say is I agree with Jessica as far as, the bonding time. That was pretty nice. I got to see a lot of your personalities outside of like family gatherings, was outside more of like a business perspective. So that was kind of neat to work with and like elaborate and, collaborate with one another as far as like our different personalities. So I definitely got to know that my primos and primas in that aspect, which is great because I knew them as family and now they're business women. So that was pretty cool and chill to kind of get that little moment with them and singled out of like questions I may have. Other things that I were really interested in the topics that we were doing. So like in the beginning, some of the topics like the collaboration we all did with one another. When Sydney mentioned about the 50 emojis, that we liked, or Jessica's interpretation of like, philosophical, ideas, or just, things that were going on. So I thought that was kind of cool, like current events. Me on another aspect, I'm here of like, let's go on a nature walk type of thing. So like that was kind of cool just to kind of see what like direction we were all going towards and filling out. But I think what really surprised me and I was just like, oh, okay, was our feedback that we got from one another. Like, oh, don't take this in the wrong way, but da da da. So I think it was hard to pull away from like family, like feelings and things like that, but it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I could see, this is a business venture and type of thing where we're going towards.
It's funny that you mentioned the comments, Mel, because I remember the first comment that Jess got mad at. So who the fuck is this person? Remember, she was all pissed off because of like, not, it wasn't a negative comment, but someone questioned something of the topic. And Jess was like, can we like flag this person and like let YouTube know what's going on here? She was hot.
When was
the
that?
first episode ever. Someone left a comment on the first episode ever. I think it was culture, race, and ethnicity. And I think we were celebrating, or you ladies were celebrating, because it's going to be your first episode release. And Jess was drinking the hard stuff that she only brings back for special occasions. And she was a little tipsy, and she was just reading the comments.
You want to go?
She was going. Yeah. She went on like a 20 comment reply chat with this person on race, sex, and ethnicity.
Yeah,
I know. So I don't drink. Can't control myself.
Which is why we took her off IG duty and handed that over to Cindy, and now no one gets replied to.
That's not true. No, and I want to always give shout outs to my prima Jess because she does really well. Like sometimes I want to jump in and help her, and she's like, "Well, I do that on Tuesdays at this time with this type of content." Oh no, I do that. I say that for Thursdays, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she has a method." I didn't know. I thought we were just posting, and so I was like, "Damn!" Like so you guys all put a lot of time in. I wanted to talk about our new season. So we're not gonna stop, and we're a lot of things in the works, but we wanted to be transparent about the process, just in case anyone's ever trying to throw themselves out there into anything. Know that it comes with like a lot of insecurities, a lot of not downs. I don't like to say ups and downs, but just a lot of like when Melissa left, for example, it was out of nowhere. And we knew it was coming. She's pregnant. She just got married. Like it was, it was hard because we're like, dang, you can't, we're not trying to be selfish. And so the timing when she left, we were like, we need to rebrand, but it's like, we don't have the time or money to rebrand, and so we had to get over that hurdle. And a lot of things that we relied on Melissa for, like a lot of little things. It was a trio. We were already starting to really organize ourselves. And so that was a big one because we just weren't ready. We're not seasoned enough. And we did it. But I think the first time or the first two times we recorded after her, like it still took us a while to start to catch mine and Jess's rhythm because we had 3 voices. Now we just had 2, and that's a huge difference. So that was cool. That was a cool, like, we were super uncomfortable. I was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Like what, and but that happens. Those are things that happen. Like she had to go handle her family time. But anyway, so Jess, do you want to start us off by letting us know like some plans we have for next season? When is next season and all that stuff?
Yes, definitely. So we didn't know when and how, but it all happened with time. With that being said, and we're going to take some time off and we are going to kind of like rebrand where Melissa isn't necessarily on the Prima's logo anymore. And so that's taking time. We want to go on more platforms. So we want to be available on Spotify and iTunes Music as well. So people can stream us on there, not just YouTube. Since our vision is pushed back a little further, I mean, we're still going to be a podcast, but we also wanted to do a YouTube channel and go off on that. But with time, that'll come. So we are going to be rebranding, guys. I mean, we're going to stop recording. We're not going to have episodes every week for the next month. And we want to do just a little something different now.
That was all very confusing. I think you said you didn't want to start a YouTube channel. I think you meant we were going to go live, and we're not going to be able to do that because we already have the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, live as in see our faces and facial expressions and video. Right now, we just have like our audio with a cartoon figure animation.
With no eyes.
Yeah. So we wanted to do something different, but that didn't work. So we shift gears and rolled with it. And now we're going to plan C, which is going on different platforms, which I'm excited for.
Yes. So again, this is all like we had little milestones and life happens. And so we're not going to be live as in our faces, but we are working on that. So I don't even want to put a date to it because I feel like the moment we're able to do that, we're going to do it. So and we'll announce it and everything. And we're still going to be active on our Instagram. So like, please keep following us and interacting with us. And we're super excited. We're working already on our next season, and we're so excited to continue to grow. And I feel like after this first season, we have a little bit more time in. We have a little bit more practice. So hopefully, we're offering better quality content for next season. I also want to say that I'm starting a Spanish podcast in January as well. I hope I don't have to push it back again. See, that's why I don't like saying dates because I've been working on that since August. And so, but yeah, so I'm going to do an all Spanish podcast. And hopefully, if you guys speak Spanish or if you have followers that do, be on the lookout for that. I'll also promote it a little bit on the Primas podcast just so you guys can go follow. But it'll be on Spanish. It'll be with my brother, Robert, who we've had as a special guest. He has a lot of experience in like family therapy and group therapy and early childhood development and male engagement. So I feel like he has a lot to offer with regards to like kind of what we're doing with the Primas podcast. Like Jess and I study psychology and we're working in the field. And so it's like giving all of that knowledge that we've learned that has helped us understand our environment in relationship to our behaviors as humans. We're trying to just give that back in the different things that we talk about, like fear, anxiety, happiness, stepping outside of your comfort zone, etc. And then so I want to do the same exact thing, but in Spanish. But obviously, the cultural lens is way different. And so I'm doing that with my brother, and we're hardcore stepping outside of our comfort zones because we don't speak Spanish as fluently as we do English. But we're good. We're good enough to get the message out there. So anyway, I also wanted to shout out all of the people that worked with us, like Karenina, who did our original branding with the three primas, and we were so excited. I mean, when we first got those pictures, it was like cute, and I was like, oh my god, my dreams are coming true. So shout out to her, and hopefully we're working with her in the future. And then shout out all of our guest speakers that came and spent time with us and shared your beautiful stories.
Let's give their names.
Yeah, Eunices Hernandez was our first one. And then we had Robert, my brother, Amanda, our cousin, Jessica's sister,
Rudy
Drunkness. I like that name. It stuck to me the first time. And then Ricardo and Maria, our latest. I think that's it. So shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the first season. and for trusting us with your time. We really appreciate everything. I don't know, anything else we want to share?
No, Mel, just thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. And I know it was a big deal because, like you said, you haven't even announced it on your social media. I mean, your own parents don't even know you're pregnant. So this is a big deal.
Now they're going to find out. They have to listen to
The
Primas
father
Podcast.
doesn't even know that you're having.
Hey.
Arthur's like,
No,
why is your belly like that? Let's go run.
Which he's actually another candidate if you guys ever want him on. So
Oh yeah.
Oh
we will.
yeah,
We'll
he's
bring
been
Art
wanting to
on.
come
That's
on.
yeah, he's been wanting to come on. Although he's like all into like astrology. If you guys ever do like if aliens are still alive or science, like yeah, he's your go-to guy for sure.
Yeah, Art's well rounded, so I feel like we'll keep him in mind. But congratulations to our prima Mel. She's gonna have a beautiful, beautiful baby. I'm so excited to be a tia again, and that's gonna be our baby. That's gonna be the new baby in the family, and we
I
all go
know.
crazy over babies. And I would
Thank
start to be like, "Hey,
goodness.
Melody's getting a
I
little
know.
old." Plus, Melody,
Just
she's a
totally
little
flunked it
feisty.
with Melody. Just totally flunked that one.
Melody is
Flunked
too
it.
much. I'm so glad there's another baby because I'm like,
If
oh,
Melody
this
could flip people off, like if she would, and I like that about her. She's like, "What's up, bitches?" Like anytime she's like, "Smile," she's like, her face is like, "Don't fuck with me right now. Don't. I know I'm two, but I'll bite you."
She
But
just
anyways,
turned 3. Wild 3s.
wild threes.
She's a little wild child.
Well, they say they
She does
continue
have
to 3.
round. She does have very angry.
I don't even know where she gets it from. She was.
That's just her saying, like, "I don't want to smile for this dumb picture. Like, why? Don't treat me like a child."
Nice for what she said.
I love Melody. All right. Well, thank you all so much. You've been listening. If you haven't, if you're new, we appreciate any and all of the support. Please share our information. Follow us on Instagram. And we're so excited. We'll see you next year.
Happy
Yes. Happy
holidays.
holidays, everybody. Thank you for listening and all the support and love throughout the whole season. So we appreciate it.
Happy New Year. Be safe, everyone. 2020 is behind us. Let's do a 2020 round, ladies, for you guys. Good job.
With it.
Classic Mel sign off. Classic Mel sign off. I'm
Wait,
glad we
can
ended it
we
on that.
for once, remember we tried to do like an sync, like bye? Can we give it to them one time for the one time?
One time.
I'll say it like in sync after another.
And then play all of this part because I feel like it's a part of. Remember when we used to try to do this and then we would just get and we didn't even use it because we were in different times.
I feel like that's always gonna happen.
I
It's
know
'cause
that's
we're
why I
in
think
different
it's cool.
we're in different parts of the universe. That's why.
We're in different wavelengths of the physics web.
So we're all gonna go like I go by, then right away Cindy goes by, then right away Jess goes by, then right away Miles goes by.
No, at the same
No,
time.
not like la
So
la
1,
la la la.
2.
Oh, I thought you said in sync, like bye bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
the way I
meant
took
in
it.
sync as in one.
And just say it. 1, 2. Don't breathe. Don't pause. Just do it. 1.
Oh.
Bye.
Okay, let's do that one. I think is good, but just in case, let's do one more.
I was excited for the in sync one.
We can.
Too late. That's the moment.
Bye.
Bye.
Elo,
right.
you didn't do it.
Okay, we got to do it again. We have to do it again.
Yeah, do it again real quick, Jess.
Either
Can we
you're
also
so whack.
Can we also do it the way Eloy said? I want to see how that sounds. Where we go bye. Bye,
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 bye.
bye. Yeah.
It's
Okay, I'm
not
gonna
4,
do an
it's only
alto.
3.
Well, why can't you do
So-
it? You should do it too.
Eloy, do it with me. Or add like a bass component. Maybe do some beatboxing. Okay, so I'm gonna say bye, then Melissa say bye, and then Jessica say bye. And then Eloy just do something, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
What? It's bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye,
Like
bye.
and sing.
I could just cut it up and then make it seem like y'all said it right after each other. But then Cindy in the middle of it said, okay.
Okay, let's do it one more time. Ready?
Classic Cindy.
I know. It's my okay. Well, I forgot about the editing. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Bye.
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 You're gonna say it at the same
We're
time.
good.
Jessica
I could chop him up. I don't just pause too long. My bad.
I
it
didn't
threw me
even
off.
pause.
I was like on the edge.
You were ready
It's
to
like
say
when
it
you
once
blow the
Melissa said
candle.
it.
Bye, bye, bye.
I'm gonna
All
keep
right.
all this.
Melissa, do
You're
you want to
still, if
close
you're
this
still
out?
listening, if you're still listening to this point, we appreciate you because those are the true fans.
Oh, we're still recording.
Thanks, Mom. Mel,
Thanks, Auntie Sassy.
close
We know
us
you're out there.
off.
Sentence totally our number 1 fan. Shout out to our number 1 supporter.
Prima out.
Oh. So we're
No,
gonna be
it's not
having
bye because you're gonna be mad.
applications.
There was one time we did that, and who went? Prima's out. I think that was Cindy.
Oh,
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah,
me.
you did.
why would I say
Prima's
Prima's out?
because you're just off. You guys could never
did.
be on the
We
right
did.
shit together.
Whatever. Hey, you know what? I confess to all of my learning experience. It's okay. I take it. All right, you guys. Thanks, Mel. I appreciate you for your time.
I know, ladies, it's been a good year. Great year.
I know. I'm excited to meet our babes. Our Poozy. Peace is really excited.
Can't wait. Are we still recording?
Okay, and we're done.